Hi, thanks for your interest in creating a professional learning course for Churchill County School District in Canvas. I just wanted to kind of go through format and the organization of the course creation so that everybody who creates a course can be on the same page and we have similar formats. The purpose of that is to keep things organized and also to keep them easy for the users or our teachers and our staff. If there's confusion, that leads to, kind of negative vibes. So I thought if we could kind of keep a common theme and a common direction as we go forward with this new initiative, it will definitely pay dividends for us. So I just want to give a couple of views. Here is a dashboard, and I want to take a look at it. You can see there's a professional learning course that is built. This is where we can house all professional learning modules. It has an introduction, and then down here we have different sections. A lot of them deal with the goals that we have, our professional learning goals, and a section for implementation specialists. There's a section for new teachers. But when you're getting ready to create a module, you need to consider, okay, which professional learning goal would this fit under? And then once we get in there, let me just go to a different course that's created. We'll create modules. I'm sorry, I'm going to go back actually. You create modules and put them under here. So here, for example, we can see on September 13th, I've got a new teacher collaboration learning opportunity about NEPF. And so it's right down here. And the staff would just click there and they go into a module. So let's take a look at what we should include in a module. Now you'll notice we have a course, which is the whole main thing. And then inside each individual learning opportunity is broken down into a module. So here, if we review again, here's the home page, and I've built this. It just gives an introduction so people can think about what they are about ready to do, and then they select the module they want to learn. So I'm just going to show you a module that I have recently built and let you know that these can be used as templates. I'd be happy to share if you want to build your own, or I'm happy to also build with you or for you too, because I have time. So the first one that's created is a little orientation to Canvas. Our staff hasn't used Canvas a lot in most instances. And so this is just a way to help them kind of get going. I put this as optional, but I think a lot of our staff would want to do it at least once. And this will give them an idea of how to use Canvas on a basic level. It's not super tough, but just to kind of get them started. And down here below, here's a module that I just built for learning about Google Docs. I had a request. So you can see that a module has different items inside of it. This is a page. This is a file I attached. So these are all options you could use too. Like you can put files on there that you want people to see, and I'm going to go through this. Then we have different learning. These are actually videos. And then there's artifact to submit, and then their attendance. And the beauty about having this is I'll show you it keeps everything together. So then at the end of the semester, we can make one certificate like we did last year, and it will list all professional learning that they did in our district with a summary of how many hours. So that's going to eliminate a lot of confusion on our end, because it won't be a search for this individual file or this individual certificate, or whatever. It'll just be a nice big semester summary file. So I just want to walk through this step by step just to kind of show you what it would look like if somebody was taking this module. So obviously they would go in order. So we have a preview, and I think a preview is important. This would be like if you're in a classroom telling the kids what are the learning objectives, what are we working on. So I've added a section that tells them what they can expect, how they'll be asked to show their learning, who they're going to work with, and who's going to check their work. So this this template is going to be used. Okay, I'm back. So anyway, so this page just kind of gets people rolling. And if we always use these 4 like talking points, then everybody will know what they're looking for. They'll know what to expect, and that's going to lead to a better learning experience. Okay, I'm going to move myself over here. We get to the end, and you go to next, and the next page is I just added a document that I had made. So this is where I give an introduction, like what people can expect to learn. So I understand everybody's going to be different. Sometimes people have online, like other websites that you want people to go to, or that's okay. For mine, I just gave them 3 learning options, like 3 levels. And so they kind of read through this and they see what they would learn if they selected the single, the double, or what they would learn if they selected the whole meal. So this is, for me, is just like an introduction, explaining, giving them a choice for their learning, because I wanted to personalize. But again, this is super flexible. You could do whatever you want. So the next 3 pages are the 3 choices. So if they chose the single, they would go to this page. If they chose the double, they would go to this page. And if they go to the whole meal, they go to this page. Now, the way I set this up, I chose to do a demonstration video. So for this module, they click here, and it's going to bring them to a recording of me doing some explanations.
Okay, hi everybody.
And some, let me just stopping in. You can see they can watch this, they can pause it,
All the unknown vocabulary.
and they get some awesome little demonstrations, and that's their learning, right? It would be the same as if I'm standing in a room doing it and they're looking at a TV screen at the front of a room. The only difference is they can pause, they can rewind, they can watch it twice. So I think this is actually superior. We didn't read every single detail on this, but I assured the learners at the beginning of this module they can always email me or call me with questions, and so they still have that option to get the live help, right? And then after they watch this, they're invited to do something about it. And I think this is something that maybe we've left out in the past. We do professional learning, but without proof of learning, right? So sometimes people are just spaced out and maybe they didn't even learn. We don't know, because we've never asked for an artifact of learning or given them feedback. So here I say, okay, now that you've learned, I want you to find something that's going to be beneficial, that you can demonstrate your practice of these new skills. And so there's a little description of that. And then as they go through, boom, now here they're going to show their learning by writing a narrative and attaching a file. So that will be, and then I give them a little rubric how I would evaluate their stuff. Right? And then this is super familiar. At the end, they can come here and they click this, which we've used in other professional learnings, so that we get the sum total of all professional learning in one place. So I want to go back to just kind of review the whole thing, so we can kind of see now that you've gone step by step through it. So you get the preview, which was the 4 key points. What are you going to learn? Who are you going to work with? Who's going to check it? And then outline. For me, I gave them a choice. So this is like instructions. Here was demonstrations that I made. They chose one of these. Here is what they have planned to create for their artifact, some instruction or guidance on that. This is where they would submit their reflection about learning, as well as their artifact of learning. And then finally down here, this is where they would do the attendance form. And speaking of this, I just want to show really quickly, I know this is a long video, sorry. I have added these 2 gold columns to our our document where we collect the learning, right? So you could see we're already up to 1,070 professional learning opportunities taken in our district this year. But previously, like I mentioned, we never gave any feedback, and we didn't really receive any proof that anybody did something, right? And really, proof can be a screenshot, it can be a link to a document they create. There's a billion things it could be. You know, if they earn a little certificate or something, they can attach that, whatever. But from here on out, what I would like to recommend is we go through. So if the next person comes through and they're like, they did the Google Docs thing, after I check it as the facilitator, that should be a responsibility. I check, boom, facilitator has received and checked artifact of learning, and boom, facilitator has given feedback. This could just be an email, it could be whatever. And you just, you know, say you gave, I think these are two key points that we've maybe been a little neglectful on. So if we can check learning and give some feedback, that's great. I'm going to be experimenting on giving the feedback. I have office hours. So those modules that I'm doing, they're scheduled for a week at a time. And at the end of the week, I'm going to have office hours. And so I think a lot of the learners, I'll be able to give some feedback there in a live Google Meet situation where I'm like saying, hey, you know, I really like that, or, you know, that's in need of improvement, or, you know, whatever. So in the end, friends, that's kind of what I'm looking at, like big picture. I know that there's a couple of you that are thinking about putting some things together right now. I, again, would really like to recommend that we all use the same template, because that will be what's less confusing for the learners. And then it will wrap everything up on this page where we have, at the end of the semester, we can do the summary of learning. So we just have one certificate with all the learning and a sum total of all of the hours that they did for the semester. So that's my proposal. I really believe that with this model, we can really pack this with all kinds of professional learning. And another benefit that exists is then it's there, right? It does a little investment in time to build it. But like I said, I mean, I'm happy to do that. When we do this, it preserves it forever, right? So next year, if I want to open up that module for the Google Docs, I can do that. If I don't want to, I don't have to do that. You know, all I would have to do is just unpublish it, and it's like hidden. Students can't see it. When I'm ready, I open it up. You know, I just go unpublish, boom, nobody can see it. Publish, now people can see it. And so that's the beauty of it. We can make a massive catalog of professional learning for our, for our staff, and it can be available for all times. And then we just have to be the facilitators, just kind of behind the scenes, give coaching and give help, and we can support a lot of people effectively. So thanks for taking time to watch this video. Hopefully it helped clarify what's in my mind for you, and I hope you'll give me your feedback and we can take a look at moving forward. Thank you so much.